All right, everyone, what's up? Hope y'all been doing well. Here we are. Welcome back to a new vid. Today, we're gonna be covering an album actually that released today. By the time this video comes out, it's gonna be out for a few days, matter of fact. But we have INHUMAN. Mr. Sven Selke, formerly known as Code Pandorum, has brought his first full-length LP to light. Now it's been over 3 years since I first covered a project of his. It was Art of the Devil, came out in June 2020. It's not an album I go back to, admittedly, but I remember loving it when it first came out and really being into it a while after as well. I still fuck with Purpose heavy. All the rest of the tracks I look back on with fond memories, I guess. If I listen to them, I'll enjoy them. They're just not in my rotation like that, you know? It's more so his new stuff that makes my playlist, especially my on repeat playlist on Spotify, just off the rip right now. I know Sentinel was in here for like 10 months straight, never left the fucking playlist because I streamed the shit out of that song, and I still think it's an amazing tune to this day. The only thing I have from him in my on repeat playlist right now is his hard techno song that he put out under his Machinist alias. But that's not the focal point of this video. Maybe some other time, but yeah, man, this dude, Sven, I've been listening to his stuff for over 8 years now. And I've been a fan of his stuff for 8 years now, ever since that collab he did with Cynoid called Era of Decimation, old ass dubstep song. Obviously, bro is the main pioneer of the death step genre, grungier, heavier, death metal infused side of dubstep for those who don't know. But he's also one of the first people to really incorporate respaces and pan snares. Y'all know the doom type snares with the real tonal tail. That's a pan snare. He was the first to really incorporate those into the dubstep sound as well. Super fucking influential. Half of you motherfuckers producing Tear Out would not be producing Tear Out the way you are with all the machine guns and shit if not for Sven. And yeah, I know I'm biased because I love his catalog so much, but the Code Pandorum project still stands to be one of the greatest projects of modern dubstep in the last 10 years, bro. I don't think that's debatable, really. And he's been rocking the INHUMAN moniker for 2.5 years now. I believe he made the change because he had some bad memories attached to the Code Pandorum name. And the dubstep formula was getting a little too repetitive for him, so he decided to just switch his brand over to INHUMAN so he could experiment more, push past his comfort zone, and traverse genres seamlessly. And he's done that. He really has done that. There's so many fucking songs of his that I'm just blown away by. Just off the rip, the techno stuff he introduced with Shape the Future, for example. It's just, like I said earlier, the hard techno stuff got split off into a separate alias called Machinist, which is barely even techno anymore. It sounds more like hardcore, but I fuck with that shit as well. Let me not drag out this intro for too long. So we have his debut LP here titled Arrival. Amazing cover art, by the way. I love the almost hand-drawn dual shit you have going on there. Shout out to that artist. But 7 of these 14 tracks have been released. For the most part, all of them were really great. There was 2 I wasn't all too big on, and I'm not going to reveal what my favorite was of those and what my least favorites were. But yeah, bro, we have the other half of the LP out now. It's nice and arranged. Solo album with the exception of some vocal features. I don't know what else to say, man. This is about to go super crazy. I mean, without further ado, track 1, Echo. And bro has a whole story tied to this INHUMAN project. I believe he's visualizing a dystopian future where he's the only savior left. I need to catch up on that lore. Super, super haunting, bro. That those who know me know I am a sucker for some analog stuff, bro. Sucker. So we have a soundtrack type beat just kicking this off. I think he's previewed this before. This is familiar, this whole sound. It's kind of slow, especially here. I'm gonna give it a pass though, because it's an intro. Oh, that synth is so nice. That is so nice. Oh, that little last thud there. Okay. That was pretty hard, bro. Love the rhythm to those almost war drums. It's a soundtrack type beat. You know what I really love to see more EDM producers just make soundtrack music. Shout out Hans Zimmer and all of them, but I'd love to see some relatively underground producer make like soundtrack music for Hollywood movies. That shit'd be nutty. It'd be crazy. This song sets the mood. Again, it wasn't all too eventful. It was very progressive in a way, and it sort of rebuilt itself at the halfway point. But I love when albums flow in a storytelling sort of way with an intro and an outro, you know? So I welcome this type of approach, especially to a dance LP. But let's get into New World with Wasiu. I already know this tune.
Don't sleep 'cause they dreaming of no rules and then
This part. What's the snares doing? Dick, dick, dick. Super cool groove, bro. I love the groove of the song. I wouldn't even know what you'd call it genre-wise. I think it's like dance floor or some shit. It's too intricate for dubstep. I guess you could call it that, but it's really, really pushing it. You feel me? This second drop definitely is something else, though. High speed chase to the death, Ray song. Yeah, Wasiu was spitting. I don't know what the bitch with the fatty has to do with like a new world and a dystopian era, but I don't mind. It's just a little funny bar he dropped in there. Yeah, man, the first drop sound design is so sinewy and twisted with that little motif in there as well. Super sick. Such full and sloshy sounds, but in the best way possible, you know? The 4 on the Floor second drop wasn't as inventive, but it still carried out the track and fleshed it out and finished it out in a solid way. And it sounded like he resampled part of Wasiu's vocals in the switch here. It's my favorite part of the entire song right there. Ah, bro, that sound design, wow. This is just a really good song overall, bro. I'll leave it there. I really enjoyed this one. Thought it was great when it initially released. Let's get into SOMERSET with Orphan Planet. Now, this is a song I was admittedly underwhelmed by. I'm gonna get into why while the song plays out, when it finishes, whenever. That really fucking sick. I love the melodies to this track. That's not my problem with it. Oh wow, what? I look-y just had to check if my subwoofer was off, because the way that first kick came in, drop had no impact. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like that, but I expect it to kick in a little harder, I won't lie. My name is SOMERSET. I'm waiting for that part.
my name is SOMERSET.
There it is. Synthwave shit like this is always welcome in my book. I like this lead too. It squashed this shit. It really pops out of the mix like there's 50 OTTs on it. Yeah. Okay. So let me get into why this song was underwhelming for me. So first off, this song is like a progressive-y house song which I think is cool that he took this direction. Again, the melodies and the way they get introduced, the analog feeling to them, everything is great, you know? But this song just, first off, the drops don't have much impact. And I get it's like a house song. It's not supposed to drop like a trap or a dubstep song or whatever the fuck is. And the way the drops, especially the song progresses, is also underwhelming. You know, I like songs to really build, and crescendo's the wrong word. That's volume. Have a climax point, and I just didn't feel it with this song. It's just there. It stays stagnant all throughout the entire song. The drops have damn near just as much impact as the intro does, and the non-drop sections do. That's why this doesn't stick out to me. It's very tedious for me, this type of song. In terms of percussion, I liked it, but I don't get why the snare is overly crackly like that, like it's overly crunchy. That like sound. I wish it could be a little sharper, I guess. Narration was cool, but what I see in the music video to this song too, what does a contracted killer have to do with the dystopian world? I'm just asking the question. Because it's kind of confusing me. You know, New World makes sense, but now we have a James Bond figure, a John Wick motherfucker in the story. Yeah. So I'm not too big on this song. I don't like it all too much. It has really nice melodies, but outside of that, it's not for me. Really. Let's get into Augmented though. This was the first single that dropped to this LP, and I still really fuck with the song. That build-up is so badass.
Wake up from your dream.
That kick is amazing, bro. I've never heard a rounder or bigger kick all year. Again, the motif, bro. Oh, these atonal artifacts, bro. The way they're just firing off. Yeah, bro. Song hard as shit. I really wish Sven to do more acid techno type songs. I mean, I fuck with the hard techno stuff for sure. But this is initially what I thought he meant when he said he was going in a techno direction with a lot of his music, you know? And right before the switch, the way that sound morphs into a more acidic form of itself. Hold up, right here. That's hard. I don't have much to say about this song, you know? It's repetitive. It's supposed to be. It's a fucking techno tune. Now I'm a huge fan of the genre, so I was bound to love this one. And I like how clever the midsection synth-wavy part is in this song, because it's actually out of key. The song is in A, and the thing is in D. But I think D is a fifth of A, so it doesn't really fucking matter. Had to whip out that perfect pitch there. So it ties into the tune, but it's not fully in the same key. You know, I like that he did that. I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but it sounds really good to my ears. Yeah, man, really fucking solid. Let's get into Arrival with Hellscythe, another tune I don't know. Title track too, so this better live up. 6 fucking minutes? Are you serious? We're in for a ride, boys. That snare is amazing. What was that, bro? That sweep sounded like some like industrial. Why does it sound so mechanical all of a sudden? Oh, this better live up, bro. Steady fucking build up. What is wrong with bro? That overtone. those like harsh, grindy sounds on top. This feels forced. This 4 on the floor part feels super forced. I love the trap section, but this actually reminds me of Eternity. Another track on this LP that was dropped a few months back. Oh, the 4 on the floor part kind of ruined it, bro. It just came out all of a sudden. I maybe would have liked it if there was a transition or like a break part in between, a bridge, but fork and knife trap. So far, that first half of the first drop is the best thing so far. I like that second drop too. It's kind of goofy, but I like the utensil sounding fucking sound design. Super orchestral. I did not expect those horns to come in. That's Pandorum. Those breakbeat fills. The slower tempo is fucking sick. I love the mechanical, tormented feeling to this thing, almost like industrial. And he got somebody to narrate this song as well, like on Somerset, and I think that's really cool. That really helps out the storytelling aspect of this whole thing. Let me run back that first drop for a minute. That part right there is just a showcase of the most elongated, thick, nasty bass lines that he could possibly put to the table, and I love it so much, bro. Wow. That's one thing that I really mess with when it comes to the Inhuman alias, just the incorporation of hybrid trap stuff, you know. It suits bro's style, especially since he definitely knows how to make a bass line. He most definitely does. The amounts of saturation, noise, distortion, whatever the hell he puts on them, always so tasteful and textured. Yeah, I just wish that 4 on the floor part wasn't there. If you would have omitted that, the song would be shorter and I'd like it more. Because it just comes out of the blue. Also very Pandorum-esque. The melody is nicer, more refined. That didn't need to be there in my opinion. It really didn't. Outside of that, really sick tune. And I feel like, yeah, it's a good title track. It's a fitting title track. It sums up what this LP is supposed to be about. Yeah, okay, Homesick. Okay, this off-rip sounds very about its business. I like that little sound. Is this drum and bass? Oh, it most definitely is.
Welcome to your new home.
I remember this. That sound, that really fast, is that a hi-hat? There were some frequencies that were kind of weird. I will say, the mixdown of this isn't as good as the first 5 tracks. I don't like that the kick is... I don't like the first half of that drop. The way the kick hits every other beat, that's super off-putting. Drum and bass usually doesn't do that, and for good reason. Sounds goofy. I like the song. It is repetitive though. It's repetitive as shit. I can't lie. Also, another thing, like I said, the mixdown isn't on par with most Sven mixdowns. It's still good, don't get me wrong. I'm just comparing it to the rest of his music. It feels kind of hollowed out. I'm not entirely sure why. It might be my speakers, but so far all the songs have been like perfectly mixed down, and this one just is noticeably not as good. This one's okay. I wish it was more varied. Nice momentum. I mean, it is a drum and bass song, so it's gonna have a faster pace and it's going to be, you know, it's gonna move. But I just felt like it got a little stale with the repetition, and especially that first portion of the second drop being so weird. Okay, based off what I've heard in live sets and previews of this song, I was expecting more, but it wasn't a complete miss, you know. That one was meh. Let's get into Revolt with Twisted Insane, their second collab, I believe. Yeah, I know bro can rap fast. He still reminds me a lot of Tech 9. I remember saying that when I reviewed the other song. He's rapping so fast to the point where it's almost not enjoyable for me. Like, it's technically really impressive, but it doesn't sound all too pleasing to my ears. Just him. Nice intro and build up though. Trusty Reese. Okay. Not gonna lie, I thought the sub was off key at first, but I think it's the saturation on it. Oh, and it's pitching every which way. That first drop almost reminded me of some tribal trap stuff, you know? Obviously inhumanified, super dark and grisly, you feel me? But yeah, this song was pretty cool. I like the halftime section in the second drop. The song breezes by. It's 3 minutes. It's the second shortest one on here so far, but even New World at 2:49, 14 seconds shorter than this song's 3 minute, 3 second runtime, feels longer. I guess Twisted Insane's rapping just got me in a doozy there at first. I will say, after listening to the full song, it does fit, especially how, you know, up-tempo this song is. But yeah, I enjoyed the groove. The melody was doing some weird pitchy stuff too. Yeah, it just feels shorter than it really is for whatever reason. Pretty decent, pretty good. Not my favorite on here, but it's nice. Let's get into Prison, track 8. Now, Prison was my favorite of the 7 singles he put out leading up to this LP. I'll get into why after. And shout out Spyder Fæ too for these vocals. That double kick. That da-na-na-na-na-na. That idea is super sick. It gets super messy towards the end of the drop, but still the mix down is just super fucking clean. Again, I love the bits of glitchy sound and percussion firing every which way. Just that ear candy stuff, you know? The percussion is too much. Super crazy melody too. The fake out, bro. The octave and the way he drops it. Nice Daft Punk effects here. Oh. I still love this one. No complaints. Like none. Love the blend of techno and electro he puts forth on this song. I mean, drops 1 and 3 are electro, and the second one's like techno, also electro kind of. I'm not entirely sure. Super unique one, super dancey one too. Not a song you typically hear from, bro, but I really love it for what it is. This song is still just as good as the first time I heard it. And it's definitely going to be one of my favorites off the LP. Let's get into Antimatter. Another super crazy highlight for me. This ominous melody.
Darkness. 'Cause
Talk about drawing out a sound. And this, that crackly, gnarly, ugh. This one's repetitive too, but the idea is so strong, bro. Why is it getting so harsh? Thing is, he's rinsed a lot of these songs at live shows. I've seen him once since he first previewed a lot of these songs. At Rampage, he rinsed damn near all of them. This drop succeeded the drop we just heard at Rampage, right? And I thought they were two different songs. But it's one song. And the switch up is insane. Just the It's so dark, bro. It's so dark. That rumble it cuts low, bro. The way he brings back this melody from the intro, it sounds kind of off and it takes away from that just gruesomeness. But it's still so fire. Listen to that fucking rumble. He said boom, boom. Let's run that back. Too much. And the way he filters it out here too, just, you know, he doesn't end it, he just lets it. Definitely my second favorite of the singles released. Well, it's between this one and Eternity, to be honest. Speaking of, next song is Eternity. Yeah, bro. Experimental bass first drop, techno second drop, dark techno at that. Can't go wrong with it. Fucking fire. Eternity. And this one blew up too. Damn near 300,000 streams. That intro makes me feel like I'm in the Dune universe or some shit, I'm gonna be honest. The call and response, that just let the filtered out basses do their thing. Oh my goodness. The tempo of this one is ridiculous. It should not be this slow, but it just adds to that lumbering, just steady impact, bro. And the bass, again, so sinewy, so textured. I think the choir, they're saying something else. This time it's hey ta hoocha hey. In the beginning it was just that like glitchy pitching. The bass line on this one might be the best of the entire LP. I can't even hold you. I can't lie, that second drop with the syncopated snare, first time I heard it, I thought it was a little forced. It's grown on me thus far. Just the all of a sudden after the slow pacing just really throws you off. It takes a couple of times to get used to it, but this one's also a highlight for me, bro. And I'm glad it's getting the recognition it does. So far, the only dubstep song we've had, besides Arrival, which was more hyper trappy. Yeah, that second drop with the added notation. The way it just whirs and shit. Woof, woof, woof. Track 11, OUTRUN. This is the other drum and bass song, I think. I think I prefer this one to Homesick too. I can recognize that lead from anywhere. So he has this crazy low pass over everything, and then just all of a sudden just lays it on us. Oh, the way he pitched the lead just now. Wait for the switch though, wait for it to flip. Oh yeah, this one's much better than Homesick, much better. I like how high he pitched up the Reese, but the sub is still doing its thing down below. Yeah. Hard. It's so crazy to me how he squashes his bass lines to make them sound so thick, bro, and so grisly. I know I've said that for like the third time at this point, but oh, I love this. First drop was more of a techno part actually, and he flipped it into drum and bass. I'm not even mad that the song only has... Oh yes, I guess it could be 2 drops if you split them apart. It's more like 1 drop with 2 switches. I'll take it, bro. I'll take it. And it's also 3.5 minutes, but doesn't feel like it. I feel like it's because of the intros and outros are so expanded upon, which I can appreciate. Shit was fire. Is that my favorite new song so far? That I haven't heard in full? Maybe. I mean, Arrival was pretty good. I think so, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Because I had my criticisms of Arrival, but OUTRUN is pretty dang flawless, I'd say. Let's get to track 12, Surface. It's this one. This feels super retro wavy. I would not expect something like this from Sven. I didn't even think it'd be too happy for him. You feel me? Super nice though, really beautiful. Yeah, I'm noticing right now where the playhead's at. We're almost a third through the song and the intro's still playing. I don't have a problem with it, I'm just saying. Now I know where the track lengths are going. The intros are eating up a lot of it. This is sick, by the way. Just the dipping out. Yeah. Ooh, that drop. Another amazing kick. The sub bass was kind of lagging behind that resound on top, and I like that. They weren't like, you know, connected with each other on this part. They have been given a purpose. The way he brought that back. This is like the 5th time. This is the 5th time he's put machine guns over a hybrid trap format. He loves to do that now. It sounds really good though. Post death step. My fault. My bad. I'll shut up now. I'm just saying, bro. It's a fitting name. It might sound corny, but those laser sounds were fucking crazy all throughout. Love the, again, just extended, drawn out force of those bass lines that reached bass in the first drop. Trusty old machine guns, bro. I had to bring them back in the second drop. And that little midsection part, this is hard. That's really sick. Cutscene with Qoiet. which, spoiler alert, is my least favorite off the LP, because I know how Afterlife is gonna go. Yeah, and listening to the song now on my speakers, that bass line is like overly compressed. It almost sounds like, not like a fart, but it just sounds way too squashed. In my opinion, this is just kind of substanceless. We've heard the 4 on the floor stuff executed much better across this LP. The motif is kind of lackluster. It's just very uninteresting. Again, it has momentum, but I feel like that's just because the tempo. The melody here is better. I like its syncopation, but again, that bass line is just... Yeah, I don't like this one. I like it even less now after having listened to it on my speakers. It sounds better on headphones, especially on AirPods. If this were a hybrid trap leaning song, I'd like it more. The 4 on the floor shit just feels super like... It's not fitting. And those insistent kicks are like the only thing that's going for the song, keeping up that momentum. But if you really pick the tune apart, there's some cool melodies sprinkled throughout there, but the bass line is squashed to oblivion, and it doesn't sound too appealing, to me at least. That's definitely my least favorite off the comp. Qoiet's part was okay. His gravelly timbre and shit, it fit into the song, but just I don't like the song as a whole, so yeah. Final song here. Dang, final track. This really was a journey, I can't lie. It's felt very cinematic, I will say that much. Afterlife with Emotiona. I love it. Word. Emotiona's voice is super expressive. He could be a frontman for like a metal band or something. Nice atmosphere to back up the bass line too. Again, super cinematic, the strings and shit, damn. I could expect like a metal breakdown to come in after this, just based off the way bro's singing. That's majestic. That ARP in the back is beautiful, bro. I love this one. I love this one. I have to listen to that sound design again. Just... It's like an intelligent super saw, bro. Super noisy, but has that like resampled vocal in there. Oh, I can't describe it. It's beautiful, bro. Really great outro to this thing. So, in conclusion, INHUMAN's arrival. Was it worth the wait? I'd say yeah. I'd say yeah. What I will say is, similar to Quest for Fire by Skrillex, the singles are much better than the rest of the music that we essentially haven't heard. You feel what I mean? That are left over that drop when the LP drops. Which is why, as a whole, it might feel more disappointing than it is, because you know the songs that have been out, you know them, you listen to them, you enjoy them, and you expect the rest of the songs that drop with the LP to be on par with them, and when they aren't, it's obviously going to make it seem like the LP's more disappointing than what it is. Similar to Quest for Fire. Shit like Rumble and Supersonic and Xena having been dropped previously, and those being the best songs off the album. Obviously, I'm gonna go into the rest thinking like, yeah, this doesn't match up and I was expecting more. I get that same feeling with this here. But I guess it is unfair in a sense, because the singles that do drop leading up to the LP are just as much part of the LP as the rest of the songs are. That's kind of a biased notion. When it comes to my favorites on this thing, I'll go for 4 since it's a 14-track comp. I definitely have Prison, Eternity, Afterlife. I'll leave them in the description. I always do this. I always fucking do this. I'll just leave them in the description when I finalize my thoughts on the shit. What I will say is that Sven has definitely made each and every one of the genres he explored across this album his own. It sounds definitively him, not like, yeah, I'm a producer that makes this genre or this style of music and I'm going to try something different and it's going to sound super formulaic and generic. Did not get that feeling at all from any of this. Distinctive sound design, the way he distorts and saturates his bass lines, I'm always going to marvel at. The texture and the way they morph and contort is always been crazy to me, even back in the Pandorum days, and he's just doing it better now, you know, under INHUMAN. There were definitely parts across this thing where I felt like the idea was good, but the song was too repetitive. He didn't do enough with it. It was kind of underwhelming. I remember a couple songs feeling more brief than they actually were for whatever fucking reason. But again, that might be because of the intros being so fleshed out and shit, which is a good thing at the end of the day. As a whole, this thing was really good if I take everything into account. I mean, and this is the most darkest cinematic dance album I've ever heard. And that's what makes it so grandiose and so, you feel me? So epic to an extent. I hope I understand more parts of this INHUMAN story too. More than I've been getting at least. And I hate to be this motherfucker, but I could have hoped for at least one more dubstep song besides Eternity. But yeah, bro, the feature list did their thing, whether it be them rapping, spoken word narration, singing, really good inclusion to this thing. The sampling as well. He's always been a sampling master. With the Pandorum shit, it was horror movies and whatever the fuck. Probably also horror movie stuff now, but it works more into that dystopian feeling that the INHUMAN experience is supposed to give you. Yeah, man, all I can say is I'm excited for the future of the project, bro. And me being a fan of his stuff for damn near a decade now, I can say I was satisfied with this thing. What Sven is doing with the INHUMAN project as a whole is definitely revolutionizing heavy bass music. Most definitely. Just like he was a pioneer for heavy dubstep and deathstep and tear-out back in the days with the Pandorum shit, he's going to be a pioneer for heavy bass music of the 2020s as well, I feel like, just continuing in this direction. And yeah, maybe sometimes his songs might need a bit more variation, or maybe they shouldn't be as repetitive, but the core idea, production, mix down is 99% of the time there. And I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna sink into this album and let it wash over me for the next couple weeks or so. Drop your opinions in the comments section below. Favorite tracks, least favorite tracks. Was it worth the wait in your opinion, yes or no? And yeah, I will see you next time. Take care.